But my
But what
point
is the
is,
institution of marriage?
my what it's become now.
No, what was it before?
Thank you for checking out the Boys Quarter podcast, where we are in the compound, but we don't belong in the main house. We're available, so feel free to go and check us out on all the audio platforms. But since you are here, please do click the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Let's get into this content. What was it, bro? It was
Before.
a lifetime commitment,
Says who? When did divorce start?
bro. Divorce has always been there.
Right. So then it's never been
So
a
it says divorce has been there even from biblical times.
mm-hmm.
But the idea was that you were
In a
making a
Christian
commitment.
setting, right? No, in
Well,
a
yeah,
world setting, right?
yeah. But that
In a
I
world setting, it's not. I don't think there's an institution. I don't think there is an institution of marriage. Not in a world where we watch Who Wants to Fuck a Millionaire
I don't know
or
that.
Love Island.
I don't know that show, but that sounds like one of them porn spoofs of the game show.
Hey, can we have an applause? Porn parodies go in.
Bro, when you're in the middle of it, you get to phone a friend.
Oh, that's interesting. You should anyway, but I'm just curious to understand. What is the institution of marriage? I can understand from a biblical point of view. We all seem it's supposed to be, this life commitment, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think in this, I mean, there's been many different iterations in different cultures, right? But I think the bare bones of it has always been some kind of commitment to form a family unit, whether it's with one woman or many women. But the idea was that this would be somebody that you're now responsible for, somebody you need to take care of, somebody who is usually exclusively your sexual partner and would bear your children. Um, that is like at the root of I think pretty much marriage across the world, regardless of cultures or religions or whatever. And it's interesting how pretty much everywhere around the world, some version of marriage was happening. Somewhere, men and women were decided, let's pair up, let's have these kids. I'll look after you. You look after the kids. You nurture. I'll protect. Whatever it is, they came up with some kind of deal, and they used that to propagate families. It's worked for a couple millennia now,
I
and
don't know about that though. I think that's just what we've seen because I believe in that same period the bullshit was going on.
yeah, it was. But I mean, clearly we can see that by and large, the dominant way of bringing children into this world up until I think maybe about 40, 50 years ago was within families. The
But you
idea
can't
was
say
children
because
were
you
supposed to
live,
be born within families.
but you can't confirm that because you never lived in that time. You don't know how many scandalous motherfuckers were breeding up this place. We just don't know. We can assume that everybody had this good family unit and now everything has changed, but we didn't live in
No, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there was definitely bastard children back then. There was
right.
definitely, a lot of skullduggery going on. You can read even from the Bible. You can see from day one, man were on just all kinds of crud. But what I am saying is that either way, there was still disagreement. Whether people get to it or not, it was supposed to be this. What it's supposed to be and what it is can be two different things. But what it is something that people have used to their benefit, I guess, when it suits them, and change when it doesn't suit them. But what it's supposed to be is at least some kind of commitment and framework to bring children into the world.
Everybody is made for marriage.
What was that? Sorry.
Do you believe everyone's made for marriage?
No,
Okay,
no.
that's sad.
I think the vast majority of us are, but I think even the Bible makes it clear that some people have a calling that means they won't get married. But I think one of the key points of that is they would know that they don't want to be married because they've been called for something else. So if let's say for example you were a missionary and you were traveling the world, you might not have your family unit. Fine. But I don't think it's supposed to be as bad as it is today where there are so many people who want to marry and connect with somebody but can't find somebody. I think that's just a sign of stubbornness and bad faith.
Mm, it's quite judgmental.
Well, I mean, it's only my assessment from the
Everyone walks
outside.
in faith.
But pardon?
Everyone walks in faith, though.
When I say bad faith, I mean like in the legal sense. When you come into a negotiation with bad faith, it means you don't come wishing well. It means that essentially you're coming with prejudice. You're coming to try and screw the other person in the deal. and I'm thinking that from what I'm observing, people are coming to these institutions or this institution or to this idea of connecting with somebody with so much bad faith that you can see that everyone's trying to get one over on each other. It doesn't set up for a nice situation.
Examples we follow for marriage are bad. I think that's the problem. We base marriages on Jay-Z and Beyonce and Will Smith and Jada, people that you don't even know. The examples of marriages and how they, not that their marriages are bad or anything like that, but sometimes I just feel like we base our visions of marriage on people that we don't even know. We don't know what their experiences are. We don't know their day to day. And so I feel like sometimes we live precariously through a fantasy marriage. And that's why a lot of people get stuck. They assume Jay-Z and Beyonce are like this every single day. Just a picture for Chanel.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, bro. There's
If I was
no
about marriage, I'd call you.
yeah, there's no real guidance right now. And I think that's what people are really looking for, a sense of guidance, because I think, to be honest, first of all, let's be real here. How many things have you really done in this life without some form of guidance? You know what I'm saying? Like, you through school you've had teachers, and through driving you have a driving instructor. And in most cases you have somebody
Comedy.
instructing you. Pardon?
Comedy.
Yeah, I think comedy is one of the few ones. But even then, you still have people that you look up to and who kind of have either mentored you or inspired you in some way.
Who mentored you?
John Simmet and
Okay,
Noel
okay.
Faulkner
Fair enough.
mentored me, and then in terms of inspired me, my inspirations. So I think in most cases we have somebody helping us, but when it comes to marriage, we either have nobody. We're just basically feeling it out. We just go out into the dating world and just try not to get screwed over. Or you have, parents who have varying experiences and varying ability to be able to help you, guide you through this. Or you have just bitter people online guiding you and giving you more and more toxic advice, trying to sell you stuff, trying to sell you books, trying to sell you courses and whatnot. So of course people are gonna go wrong most of the time, And I think at least, and I understand that everybody believes, but for those who do have a faith, if you marry somebody of the same faith, you've at least got a structure. You've got a book you can go back to. You've got a community you can go to who's going to help you uphold your marriage. Usually you've got like an imam or a pastor or something that you can go to and say, look, we're struggling right now with marriage, and they can walk you through it and be there with you long term. Some people are doing that with therapy these days, but either way, people need help, man.
What do you think of cross faith marriages?
Yeah, I'm the product of one. My mom has always been Christian. My dad has always been Muslim. And I think it caused problems. I think it's a big part of the reason why they didn't work out. But at the same time, I have a guy I know who's Muslim. He's married to a Christian woman. For the main part, it seems that they are good. I don't know the inner workings of their marriage, and I don't want to speak ill on it either. But I'm just saying that on the whole, general terms, I don't think it's a good idea.
Interesting. My friend's married to a Muslim.
And she's Christian.
Mm.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many Christian women seem to like Muslim men. I think there's.
No, I don't think it's like Muslim men, I just think they need to settle down, dog. I just think they need to settle down, and a man is a man, and if he's saying the right things, we can figure the rest out. We got some kind of religion, right? It's just, it's life is not linear. Life is not linear. I believe if you're a Christian and you're married to a Muslim, man, God has a plan for you. Of this I'm sure, and y'all gonna figure it out. I just think life is so complicated. Everything you planned. She never planned to marry a Muslim man. Never. She never thought that would be her future.
Yeah, I know. And to be honest, I'm not saying that she did, but I'm just saying that somehow.
You know what it is, Ola?
I'm seeing it a lot where there's a Muslim guy and a Christian woman.
But think about it. Your mom and dad was definitely Muslim and definitely Christian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They were night and day with those religions.
Yeah.
Whereas in 2021, you know how it is. I'm a Christian, but I still freestyle on the block A90.
I mean, that's true.
We,
there's a couple of Nigerian, and especially with Nigerians as well. Nigerians are very lax with this. I know I got plenty of my mom's Muslim friends or Muslim family friends or whatever it is who will happily come to church with us. Then you might see them sipping a little heady at one point. You're like, Auntie, I saw you're Muslim.
You know the maddest thing? I don't know. I don't care what you say. When Eid Mubarak was popping, because my grandma was a Muslim.
Yeah.
Eid Mubarak, bro, I was a Muslim too. You see the food they used to bring out.
Bro, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. So it's like, I think at least in like Lagos, at least in the southern part of the country, Christians and Muslims are like, we're brother and sister here. Like both of us are gonna share this Lagos together. As you're heading to the mosque, me too, I'm gonna be going to my church.
I went to school in Jos.
Yeah, that's wild, bro.
Which is the north part, but we were a Christian school. Come on. So we used to have Christian assemblies and everything, but every now and then we had to, I think some Sundays we'd have to have the Muslim person will come and pray.
You see? I don't know what the Nigerian mentality or thinking about it is, but it's definitely not as combative as it has been seen when there's all of these attacks or like Fulani herdsmen are burning down a church, those kind of headlines. I think on the whole what I've experienced is I was living with Nabil for a long time and I was very Christian, he was very Muslim. I attended his marriage ceremony. I took part in the parts that I wanted to take part in, and didn't take parts in the other.
You'll be taking these religions to the level, boy.
Yeah, but he came with me to a church gig once. So,
well, the only thing I wouldn't do is anything. I don't do anything spiritual. So if it's like the spiritual mother's gonna pray for you, I'm good.
Yeah. That's where I opt out.
Like,
even with South Africa, they said we're gonna do a spiritual tree planting ceremony. I said,
nah, I'm not on that.
I really on him, actually.
My friend went to Nigeria. She said, "Mummy of the mountain, pray for." I said, "Yeah, I'm not on that."
Mummy of
the only person that allowed to pray for me is my mum.
The mummy of the mountain.
She climbed one mountain. The mummy, Yoruba mum, said she prayed into her life. I was like, "Yeah, I don't do those things."
Yeah, I mean, bro.
The only person that had to lay hands on my head, my mum and dad. Simple, because I know they care. Anybody else, I don't trust you like that.
I feel you, man. I feel you. It makes sense. It makes sense, man.
You just have to. Spirituality is real. It's very, very real. You can get. My friend said she was dating a guy and she was practicing. He was a Buddhist and he got her into Buddhism and just chanting. She started to have really dark dreams.
Wow.
I was like, listen, I'm gonna go toilet, and then I didn't come back for the date because I didn't want that. No, I'm joking.
But that's a spiritually social distance.
Bro, I had to spiritually social distance because those things creep me out because I believe in spirituality in terms of dipping into where you're not supposed to dip into.
Have you seen that kind of? Have you seen Juju at work?
Have I seen Juju at work?
Yeah.
I've seen what they've claimed to be Juju at work.
Okay. Have you seen anything where you believed it was? Where you're
I don't believe in Juju, no. It's just hype.
So you don't believe that that's part of the spirituality that you're talking about?
No, I don't believe that. It's all hype. It's all over-exaggerated stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, that girl said she gave me bumps. That she's a witch. Right? But...
Which girl said she's a witch?
When I was in church as a kid, like in this country.
Yeah.
They brought a Nigerian girl over. Sorry. And she was my prayer partner for that week. And in that week, I got bumps. So I got like little spots on my hand.
Yeah, you want to go gum clinic or something? You want to get the
story already, innit? I just thought, maybe I've got an allergic reaction to something or whatever. I just treated it. So about 2 weeks afterwards, the people that brought her over said that she came to them and confessed that she's a witch and that she's been giving their children illnesses. But she had to stop because everybody was so kind to her and they took her to church. And so when they said that, she said she also gave other people in the church who she interacted with, whatever, listen, this bitch was my prayer partner. So that freaked me out.
Whoa.
But again, at the same time, I don't believe in, I'm going to go and do juju for you. I don't believe that. I honestly believe you can really counter that with a nice, I am covered by the blood of Jesus. Oh, nobody can. covered by the blood of Jesus. Oh, I'm an overcomer. I will sing. That's how you learn up the next verse. You always got to learn up the next one. I will sing. Gotta line it up, innit?
That was too accurate, bro. Even the dancing you were doing, man.
Oh, yeah. So I always believe that, because trust me, there's people that are evil in Nigeria, and there's people that definitely go to Habalis and Babalawos and try and do things and try and get this. I guess black magic is real to an extent, but I also believe it's like a placebo effect. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think believe in it, you're gonna get it like that.
Yeah, I always ask, like if they had that much power, why haven't we won the World Cup, or why isn't the economy strong, or whatever it is.
Interesting.
Why does it only ever work on
equal? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because there was one, I think it was the last World Cup, where they zoomed into the audience, and there was one Babalawo guy that was, well, he was clearly dressed up, so he's clearly acting like he's doing way more than he's doing. But it's yeah, so why you ain't win? Like, what's going on? But I think I've had a couple of experiences that were kind of supernatural to me, and where I kind of, when I remember them, I kind of go, all right, yeah. Remember, you need to pray. Like, things are happening out here. Like, it's not a joke. I don't know if have I ever told you about the situation with my sister?
No, you just told me when your mom sent you a picture of the angel saving a car.
Oh, that was funny. Oh, that's funny. This one was a situation where my mom calls me. My sister's name is Abby. She goes, "What's wrong with Abby? Tell me. Be honest with me." And now the background to that is that my sister Abby has sickle cell. So there'll be times where she goes to hospital, and because she's having a crisis, and I don't want to tell my mom because mom's just gonna be fretting in Nigeria. She can't do anything. She'll be like, "Oh, should I jump onto a plane and come?" Blah blah blah. And it's like, no, relax. She's okay. She'll be out in a couple of days and whatever it is, and I'll go look after her. I'll go visit her. She has friends who go to come and see her. It's fine. So she calls me, and usually, like, I would know she's gone to hospital because either Abby will call me or one of her friends will call me that, like, oh, Abby's gone to the hospital. This is where she is. So my mom calls me and goes, "Tell me, honestly, just be honest with me, because I know you don't like to tell me these things. You don't want me to fret. Just be honest with me. What's happened to Abby?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, what's going on? I haven't heard anything." Cool. So I now say, "All right, cool. Let me try and find out." She's like, "Yeah, I've been calling Abby's phone. She's not picking up." I said, Don't worry. Maybe it's the international line or whatever it is. I'll call her. I'll check on it. We'll speak soon." So I now call my sister. She's not picking up her phone. I don't know what to do. I speak, and my mom calls again. I'm like, "Look, I've tried calling her. I haven't heard anything from her." I'm like, "What's got all of this in your head?" She said that she got a call from somebody, and they were like, "Oh my show, the way that they had to take Abby to hospital, take heart. It's gonna be okay." But the weird thing was the person was speaking Yoruba to her, so she was like, "Wait, who would call me to be like, oh, it's a shame that they had to take your daughter to hospital, and you don't even know who is this woman?" And the line cut, so she didn't even know. So I come off the phone with my mum. My sister finally calls me and goes, "Oh, what's going on? I've seen so many missed calls from you and mum. Like, what's happening? Like, what's the big deal? I've been rushed off my feet." And I'll be like, "Yeah, mum, see, heard something happened to you. Are you okay? Are you in the hospital?" She's like, "Nah, actually, I was at work. The reason why I haven't been able to pick up my phone is because we've been dealing with a situation at work. One of my employees right next to me just collapsed out of nowhere for no reason, so we've had to rush him to hospital." I'm like, "What happened to him?" Like, we don't even know. Just the guy he was just standing next to me. She was working like a tuition center, so there's loads of kids around. They were just doing some exercise with the kids, and he just collapsed right next to her. And that's why she was going to the hospital. I said, wow. So whatever it is that whoever has decided to send something for you, it hasn't reached you. It's reached the person next to you. But they were already calling my mum to be like, almost as if it was like a victory lap, like the plan worked or whatever. I don't know what their thinking is, but it was just mad. Like, I was like, how do you explain that? Because this is between three different people.
The person that sent something for you.
Yeah, I don't know who. I don't know why somebody would.
I missed your sister, but got the nigga next to him.
Yeah, that dude caught a stray that day, man. I don't know what was going on, bro.
To be fair, but the thing is this: Nigerians love to put it into that context. Everybody's sending for you.
But okay, but how do you explain a situation like that? Where if one person in Nigeria gets a call that their daughter's been rushed to hospital, meanwhile at the very same time their daughter is going to hospital because the person next to them collapsed.
Who called your mum though?
We still don't know.
Yeah, y'all missing them. Y'all letting a lot of L's, a lot of information at that story. Y'all you don't have Star 69 in Nigeria.
I don't think so, bro.
For those of you that listen, Star 69 is 1471 over here.
Yeah, I was about to say, do we even have Star 69?
Yeah? Is this the 1471? I ain't done that in a minute. If you do it,
never tried to do that.
Go back to that, bro. We've all got call ID now, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, first of all, don't you have to have a landline to be doing all of that?
You know what? It's interesting when we talk about stuff like this because I don't know. My cousin, you know, play cousin,
Yeah.
and he's one of his closest friends died.
Okay.
Just I wonder if I'm correct. I want to say nobody knew or nobody saw it coming, and it hit him hard. He goes to let's say she dies on Saturday. He goes to the family home to pay his respects and whatnot. Goes into her room and collapses on her bed and dies.
Wow.
We were just like, huh? And of course, Nigerians immediately something is wrong.
Something is wrong. You have to be
Something is going on in the spirit world. But that did freak me out.
Bro, I mean, there's going to be some things that, to be honest, you know, everything in your intellect is going to say, like, it's a coincidence, like, what's the big deal, and so on. And to be honest, that makes sense. But at the same time, it also makes sense that we will never fully understand a lot of the things that happen on this earth and why they happen the way they happen and why people have these accounts and why people have these stories. Both, if we're being intellectually honest, we have to both say it doesn't make sense and it does make sense. That's the only intellectually honest answer to all of this.
I mean, your sister's one is wild. It is wild. But I wouldn't share that story that, oh, thank God my coworker got hit. But
yeah, I know. But bro, this is what I'm saying. I don't even say it like, thank God he got hit. I just say it as like like I said, a reminder that, yo, there's stuff happening that you can't see, and you need to stay prayed up. You need to stay like cognizant that not everything's gonna be done based on how strong you are, how rich you are, how well connected you think you are. Some of these things are going to be how spiritually grounded are you. You know, how connected are you to the Lord?
How spiritually grounded are you? You know what? You're right in the sense where I agree in the sense my parents pray, man, 24/7 for their children. They pray. That's what they do. That's all they believe in. I'm praying for you. We always pray for you. Not take a because I pray for you. I don't take that for granted. I don't. I don't just walk around this motherfucker thinking the reason why I'm alive today is because I'm such a good person. I believe there's someone interceding. Hey! Someone is interceding on my behalf.
Yeah.
And so those are the things I take into like what I do for my nieces and nephews, what I'll do for my kids is I pray for them. That's the best thing you can do as a parent for your children is constantly pray for them. Because kids are idiots. They think they know it all and they live their life like that.
Yeah.
They need that. I don't know, man. I've done so many things in this world where I've flown on a plane, traveled from one place to another, did the madness, got drunk and still made it back to my hotel room okay. I don't believe that's just because I got lucky or I know the way back home. I honestly believe God has a plan for me. So, you know, when people say God got me, and I don't even take that for granted in itself because I don't just walk around here living like, you know, some wildcat because I believe God got me. But I take a lot of solace in the fact that prayer works. I don't believe prayer works in the sense where, Father, Bentley. I don't believe in that. Yeah. I believe prayer is honest, where prayer is real. God will answer. God delivers.
Yeah.
I don't believe God, when you pray to God for a bright future, he just gives you a bright future. He lays the tools down. You know, I've been thinking a lot about representation and stuff like that. and today I had a meeting with an agent.
Oh wow.
Right. So
Nice.
God creates the atmosphere. You still have to make your decision because remember,
Yeah.
you want the element of free choice. So he doesn't give you anything. You decide.